I was captured 30th of November 1950 near Kunoria, North Korea. This was a little village north of Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. After capture, we started the long march north to the Yellow River. There were approximately 600 in the group. In early January, we arrived at a camp known as Death Valley, which was an old mining camp. This camp, about 350 out of the original group died. That's how the camp got the name of Death Valley. There was no organization whatsoever, just a group of sick and hungry prisoners of war. We remained at Death Valley until around the last part of February. Then we left and headed north to the Yellow River to another camp known as POW. This was the United Nations camp. They had all the prisoners from every country that was fighting in Korea at this time. POW was a small village situated on the banks of the Yellow River. You know, the Yellow River divides Korea from China. On the other side, you could see Manchuria. This camp was more organized than Death Valley. The people there was trained to handle prisoners of war. But the living condition was practically the same as it was in Death Valley. However, it got better as time went by. Now, these gangs, little groups that we got together on, we pledged to ourselves. We know who was who. We knew who to let in, who to keep out. And it's kind of a little secret organization that we would have, and we do things like smoking the Shanghai News. Smoking paper is one of the hardest things to get a hold of. And the Shanghai News made very good cigarettes, paper. And that's what we did with it every time we got a chance. And this was definitely forbidden with the Chinese, because all the newspapers had to be turned back in. And the monitor was in the hot water when he didn't turn one back in. Sometimes I kind of felt sorry for our monitor, because, as I say, we took pretty good care of that Shanghai News.
So in other words, you had little games that you played that the interrogate with your monitors, such as taking the Shanghai News and smoking, making cigarette paper.
Okay. See, I think my lungs probably still got the Shanghai hidden on. And this campfire, that's where they started the classes and things. They would get the whole company. After we built the theater. Actually, we built all the barracks in the place. This was around the 1st of '52. We had barracks built that we prisoners built, and along with this, we built a big theater. This is where they had the classes. They get one company in at a time. Well, they take all the Negroes. The first company, which was roughly, I say, 250. and we'd have class, and then they take the other portion of first company. In the evening, they'd have a class. In the evening, we had to come back and discuss what went on. This is where the monitor came in. He would try to determine what you learned and how you felt about what the Chinese had said. And most of the time, he said, he'd ask you what your opinion. I said, I don't have any opinion. Sometimes we'd have one of the Chinese instructors, that's what they call themselves, instructors. They have one of them sitting in on the discussion. Naturally, didn't have enough to go to each squad. So you could figure about once a week you'd have a Chinese instructor sitting in on your discussion period and the monitor carrying on. So most of the time they would ask you, what's your opinion? I don't have an opinion. And Chinese said, you gotta have an opinion. I don't have an opinion. What do you think about it? I don't think nothing about it. That's simple. And this wouldn't go over too big. So we argue back and forth. And then he would leave. He'd probably get the monitor up there and he'd ask, well, what about Johnson? What kind of guy is he? Is he reactionary or does he go along with the program? Then they kept a little chart on each prisoner, a little chart on behavior, what he did. Things of this nature, and the Chinese kept this themselves. And the information that about you that we get through the monitor, some other informer that's in the section and the squad. And as I say, they had the monitor, which you knew what he did, and they had a few more other individuals they would stick in and out. You had to be real careful about who you talk to and what you said.
Well, tell me, did they give you any reason why they stuck all of you, like all the Negroes, in one company or one platoon?
Yes, they did. The reason was, they said that in America the Negroes was segregated and with the white, so they were going to keep it like that. And the teaching, the stuff that they would say, in China all the people are equal. They do this, they do that. And this is the reason that they gave. That, they found that segregation was no problem in the PW camp because we helped each other and we worked together as a team of soldiers. And so that didn't work, so they kind of laid off of that. They would bring literature written by think of the name. Yeah.
That's all right.
Anyway, they would beat this point into your head. They would beat this point into your head about the segregation is going on back in the, it was going on back in the States during that time, particularly in the South.
And so in other words, you basically figured, you know, in your mind that, you know, if we were sitting here talking about segregation in the States, why were they segregating in a compound the way they were?
That's true. That is true. And it was a bunch of hogwash. First of all, because the Chinese